Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the GameCast Newscast. I am Snowy, otherwise known as Count Fracula. Joining me instead of Max this week, because he didn't get up on time, kind of my fault because I didn't tell him the proper time, is Sully.
Hello. This is my first appearance. Huzzah. Finally. It is. This is my first time on the Newscast.
Well, there we go. First time for everything, and prepare to be disappointed.
Okay. Well, Max isn't here, so I'm already disappointed.
Well, yeah,
I'm not getting the full Newscast experience.
3/4 of the talent is gone.
That's right, we still got the host.
Just about. So, Sully, what have you been playing this week?
Ooh, I've been playing a little bit of my Switch, surprisingly enough. Now that I've finally bought one, I've been playing a little bit of Mario Odyssey. It's okay. That's my relationship with that game at the moment. It's just okay.
Oh.
I'm not feeling the crazy amount of 10 out of 10s it got. The hype.
Didn't click.
It's good.
It's not clicked with you yet properly.
No, it's not clicking.
Huh.
I'm on maybe my 5th world as well. I don't think it's going to click.
No,
I think this is it.
I'd say like it clicked for me long before then. Yeah.
It did. I just don't get it. I don't feel like it's challenging enough. I feel like I'm just kind of flailing around in these worlds, getting the stars and moving on to the next one. Sorry, the moons.
Actually.
I don't know. That's just kind of the way I feel about it. I don't know.
Well, you're objectively incorrect. You know.
Okay, that's fine.
That's how Nintendo fans work.
Okay. I can live with that, them disagreeing with me. I don't know. Maybe it's just not my game. I loved Mario 64. I loved Sunshine. I really liked Galaxy. I don't know. Maybe I've just changed since those titles. Maybe it's the same experience. I don't know. It's just not grabbing me. So I don't know if I'm even going to finish it. I might just move on and play something else, like move on to Zelda or something.
Oh.
But anyway, enough ragging on Mario Odyssey, because we've probably already got downvotes on this video.
Yeah.
The most of my time this week actually has been going into Halo Online, which is phenomenal. And if you don't know what that is, we're going to talk about that later in the podcast, so hang around for that.
Yes. we certainly are. That's got a news story around it this week.
I am so sad.
Oh. Anything else, or is that the end of what you've been playing?
No, that's about it. Yeah, that's about it. I've just been working and watching a little bit of Netflix. Lost in Space, actually.
Ah, I've been meaning to watch that. Is it good?
Not great.
Oh, I've heard good things about it. That's a shame.
It's fun. It's fun. It feels a little bit kind of like Disney Channel sci-fi, really lighthearted, and you can pick it apart really easily.
Okay.
But it's still fun. You know, not everything has to be super serious.
No.
It's just not amazing. It's lighthearted, grab some popcorn and chips and relax with your girlfriend and watch it type thing, you know?
Okay. Well, that's not disastrous. Okay, so this week I've been playing a bit more of Wreckfest, which is that sort of destruction derby type game.
Oh.
They've had a bit of a content patch. They've put some new races in, put some new things in. It's pretty solid still. I still don't think it's worth the price necessarily, because it's quite
It is very expensive.
Yeah, isn't it like, what's it in your money?
I think it was like
$40?
over $40. Yeah, I think so.
I wouldn't
it looks
pay
like
that for
too
it.
much. Yeah.
I'd wait for it to go on sale for maybe like $25.
Yeah.
That's Australian dollars, so that's about $20 and about £15. That's about where I'd put it at the moment, price-wise, personally. But,
I'd go for that.
Other than that, I have been playing, and indeed am currently playing Planet Coaster for reasons of GameCast. Because I started my new show, which you should all go and watch. It's called Creative Corner. I put a lot of work into it. It's very nice.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah, I liked it.
Yes. It's coming up later in the show, actually, if you're watching on the broadcast, so pay attention to that. But yeah, I've been playing it this week. The challenge I gave myself was to build a roller coaster in half an hour. I did
so
it.
You cut it down.
Yes, I did.
It was an hour last week, right?
It was an hour last week. I did make the roller coaster, but it was utter shit.
Was it safe? fall off the tracks at any point.
It doesn't fall off the tracks, but I don't think the people would have enjoyed the end product of what I came up with. Spoiler alert.
It starts off alright and it gets a little bit rocky towards the end.
So I've spent the rest of my time, I've now spent about 2 or 3, maybe 4 more hours just making that coaster actually fit nicely. Like, actually work, so it's good. And I've spent the last sort of 4 or 5 hours just adding scenery to it.
So does that actually appear in the creative corner episode? Like, you have alright, here's what I could do in half an hour, but here's what it
what I'm going to do, once I've finished my whole scenery thing, I'm going to do just like a ride on the roller coaster at the end, and then hopefully...
Can you do first person, like, riding in the roller coaster and stuff? Is that the whole
Pardon?
kind of cool thing about it? Can you go first person?
Yeah, you can. There's a little special camera that puts you into basically any seat of the roller coaster cart, and you can
that's cool.
Go on there and do it like that. It's very good.
I dig that.
Yeah,
that's
the first
cool.
thing I did was light it all up. So you like, because in the video I did like 1 or 2 test runs of it with the no lights in the tunnels. And it was a bit dark, couldn't really see anything.
Yeah.
Fortunately, though, that's part of the time lapse, so, it's not like a sort of disappointing end point to the video.
It was just like, what was that flash of black?
Yeah. But yeah, so half the reason I cut the time down, though, was to make the video less obnoxiously long. Because the last one was like 40-odd minutes.
Yeah, and I was like...
No, sorry, 25 minutes. But that's still like a bit too long.
Half the video was like time-lapse, yeah.
Yeah, so...
It was still interesting.
But, it's definitely an interesting video. I enjoyed making it. I enjoyed the product that it came out with at the end. But at the same time, could have been better.
Well, I look forward to the next episode.
Yes,
then.
exactly. So look forward to that in the broadcast or on the channel, which probably, by the time this goes out on VOD, that episode will be up. He says.
Boom. Yeah, he says, yeah.
Yeah, it should be. So yeah, other than that, that's about it really. That's what I've been playing this week.
Very nice. And I just want to quickly slide in there. I know this isn't a movie podcast, but I have seen Avengers.
Shut up. Don't say anything at all.
I just need
say anything. Shut
I
up!
just need everybody to know. I've seen it.
I'm seeing it. When this broadcast is broadcasting, I will be getting ready to go and see it. So, yeah,
That's a long time.
It's the day after tomorrow.
That's long. That's a long.
I know, it feels like an age. It's like some reviews have come out for it of people I watch on YouTube, and I'm just like, no, I want to watch it, but I don't want to.
It's dangerous. Just talking to me right now.
I know, so I'm gonna
be careful.
Yeah, if you spoil it for me, I will literally cut you out of the podcast, and it will be an hour of me talking to myself.
That's right. My lips are sealed until we record our spoiler cast. Are
yes.
we doing a spoiler cast, or are we just doing a cast?
Indeed, we will do a spoiler cast. So we'll do that. And otherwise, let's get on with the show. Story number 1. The Nintendo Switch is a very good console, as we've just discussed not too long ago. Well,
except some of its average titles, such as Mario Odyssey. Oh, no. It's great.
Are you trying to get this video disliked? Is that what you're trying to do? You're hijacking the show to get disliked.
I'm gonna muck the ratio up.
Pocket Edition.
Yeah. I'm tanking this. What is this even called again? I can't even remember.
Newscast.
I almost called it Pocket Edition. Yes.
He's just taking it over, ruining it.
As soon as you said Pocket Edition, I was gone. I was like, all right, I've just lost all track of where I am.
Well done.
Sorry. Let's carry on. The Switch is a fantastic console.
Yes, it is. And I think a lot of that comes down to its games, but a lot of that also comes down to the fact that it's got some really nice hardware, and the stuff that they've managed to do with it is really interesting. Like, they've managed to do a lot of fun things with it. But there's now, well, a press release by a hacking company has been released, telling us of a particular exploit which can't be patched out at all because it's a hardware-based exploit.
Jesus.
Yeah. It's,
Can you really call yourself like a company if you're like hackers? Like, is that a real thing? Like hacking companies?
I don't know if they're a company.
They proclaim
by veteran console hackers. Fail overflow. One word.
Okay.
I don't know who they are. That's just whatever.
They hacked the Switch. Now they've got their 15 minutes of fame.
They do. To be fair, I think this is something they do all the time. But the nature of the exploit was apparently disclosed ages ago anyway. So, like they send it to the company, so they're not like the bad people hackers. Was it the black hats?
Yeah.
Hacker terminology.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, it's the black hats and the white hats hackers. So they're obviously like they've been nice about it and gone, hey, here's something that we found in your chips. But at the same time, any existing console can't be patched, but it's, you know, at least they've got the information moving forward of what they can do about it.
Yeah, but at the same time, by saying this, like, hey, we found this, there's an exploit in your hardware, we found this hack or backdoor in, they've just made it public knowledge now.
Yeah,
So,
there is that.
That's not good. Like, what do they want? Like, what do they get out of this? Do they get paid? Are they just a community hacker, like Pro Nintendo? Let's help them.
I think sometimes a company will pay like those kinds of hackers for finding these things and reporting them. But this doesn't sound like it's the case. And they literally said that this April 25th was their deadline for publicly releasing it, so I don't really know why.
Ooh.
But
That's interesting. And what does this actual hack or exploit open the door for? Is it just like kind of limitless? Like once you find a backdoor into the system, you can then open it up to, you know, create homebrew or do whatever you want on the system? Is that the whole idea?
pretty much, it's very like it's got a wide amount of implications of what you can do. Yeah, the hacking company themselves released a video of of Doom 3 being run on it.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Doom 3.
Yes, Doom 3, not Doom 4. It was actually Doom 3 that they managed to get running on it.
Is Doom 3 still the sprite?
No, Doom 3 was the one that's basically set entirely in dark corridors.
Yeah, the Xbox one. The Xbox, it was almost a launch title, I think. Yeah, that game was sick. That was like pure horror. Have you played that?
I've watched...
That is a classic.
Yeah, I've watched my uncle play it, and it was...
That's some scary shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember watching my uncle play it, and I was just like, oh, holy shit, no.
Yeah, that's actually really impressive that they were able to port that game onto the Switch and actually have it run. Like, that's... I mean, I know we have the Doom 2016 running on it, but, you know, they've ported Homebrew over and it's running. Like, that's impressive.
Well, they managed to get a version of Linux running on there as well. Which, in fact, to me, that's more interesting that they've managed to do that.
Yeah. This is actually kind of really piqued my interest now because I'm actually kind of really annoyed that I can't do certain things on my Switch, like just have a web browser.
Yeah.
You know?
Does it not have a web browser?
I'm probably shooting myself in the foot. I don't recall there being one.
I don't think there is, no.
No, there's definitely no Netflix apps or media apps or anything
well,
like that.
No.
It's pretty bare bones.
Who's going to watch Netflix on their Switch?
Well, I mean, I might because the screen's bigger than my phone screen, and I find the resolution fine. It doesn't bother me, right? It's only a 720p display, and I don't have a TV in my bedroom, so sometimes I just like chilling, and I quite often watch TV or Netflix on my phone. So if I can do that on a bigger screen, I would.
I see what you mean. At the same time, though, my phone's got a 4K screen, so maybe not for me.
Oh, yeah, that's not for you then. Actually, I think mine does too. I've got the S7. That's a quad something resolution, right?
If it's probably, well, I don't. Mine's 1440p. I don't know if that's full 4K, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know. This is interesting. I mean, I remember the 3DS was like hacked like ages ago. I don't know if that was software. I think that was software. I don't think it was a hardware exploit, but it was pretty interesting to see like all the ROMs and stuff you could port onto your 3DS as well. So I'm imagining it's going to be a very similar situation happening with the Switch, and I'm assuming that it's going to be rectified in whatever revisions they make on the Switch in the near future. Because
it's kind of got to be, really, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think there's already rumors circulating around that they're revising the hardware slightly, obviously because some of them bend, the screen scratch easily, the dock scratches the screen, all that kind of shit.
Yeah, that was like when I got my Switch, the first thing I did was get a screen protector because I'm like, fuck scratching that on the bloody dock.
I've got these weird kind of imprints on the screen, like from the first 48 hours I had it, and it was I bought a travel case, because, I was going to the US, I wanted to take it on the plane with me, and I don't know where it came from, but I am really fucked off. Like, the screen is extremely easily scratched. It's ridiculous. But back to the hardware exploit. Do you remember when the PS3 launched and they had that kind of fat 60 gig one that was backwards compatible, and then Sony inevitably like pulled that model because they realized, oh fuck, we don't want I think they wanted to make money.
I was so annoyed with that because that'd be so much more convenient to just have a backwards compatible one.
Exactly, and then they pulled it because they're like, no, we want to make money off our re-releases and our PS. I think it's now subscription.
Fuck old games.
And then that system became highly, highly desirable even to this day. Do you reckon that's going to happen with the Nintendo Switch? Like these kind of first-gen Switches? Because they have this exploit?
That would be interesting. Point. I hadn't thought of that. That would be interesting to see. And it would also be quite convenient because then my Switch would be worth more money.
I have one, yes.
Yes. I wouldn't mind that at all, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of interesting to see where they go with this. I mean, I'm just assuming we're just going to see the usual stuff that happens on the 3DS and all the other systems that get hacked,
Oh, yeah, probably.
Basically do anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's going to be an interesting time. It would be
not
fun
for Nintendo.
To see what they can do with that. I know a lot of the issues, like, it could open the door to piracy because of the way that it opens up.
Yeah.
So you could actually pirate games through it.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, that's going to happen anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
At some point, right?
It's the kind of thing. This is the kind of thing that it was going to happen eventually anyway. So just don't try and stop these things sometimes because there's no point.
Yeah, you'd just be trying forever and forever losing, or there'd be a workaround that comes and bang, you've got, doesn't matter. Don't stress too much, Nintendo. Just get me that Netflix app.
You really want that Netflix app, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's, I think that's about it with this story, really. There's not much else to say about it, but, it's still an interesting thing regardless.
Yeah, it's been hacked and we don't know what it means.
It's been hacked and it might mean that we can... Well, it means that people can break open their Switches and homebrew stuff on them, which might make for actually, I've just thought it means that a modding scene could sprout up. Switch mods. I'd be down for that.
Maybe even indie homebrew.
Maybe.
Interesting.
Maybe. There's lots of possibilities. We don't know what any of them are going to be. And that's probably about all we can say on the matter. So, I think we'll just move on to the next story.
Let's do it.
So, we mentioned the Halo mod that Sully was playing.
So good.
Earlier in the week. And yeah, it's not going to happen anymore, is it now?
Well, it's yet to be decided, I think.
Well, it's yet to be shut down, but...
Yes. I don't believe it's going to be shut down. One, because for those that don't know what this game is, essentially, Count said mod. It's probably a little bit more than a mod. It's pretty much the full code of a project that was happening back in 2000 and I'm going to say 14. That's when we first heard about it. Now, it's basically the Halo 3's online ported to PC, and it was exclusively for the Russian market. And this was before, 343, I believe, took the mantle and started running with Halo. So Microsoft wasn't really sure what they were doing with the IP. But basically, the pin was pulled on it. So they shut the project down. Halo Online was to be no more, but the code got out into the wild, and now the modding/Halo community have gotten a hold of it. They've rolled even more assets into it. You'll see assets from Halo 4 and other Halo games, new maps. Essentially, it's Halo 3's online and then some, and it's incredible. Simply put, it's incredible. It's just gone gold, and that's probably why we're now hearing all this drama surrounding it.
Yeah, it's the same as whenever there's like a Nintendo fan game.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Whenever it gets big, they're just like, no, you can't do this.
Yeah.
How dare you make something popular?
It's been playable for a couple of years. But they've just done the final gold release. And it's phenomenal. It's everything you'd want from a Halo PC online game. I'd love Halo 4 or Halo 5, obviously, but in terms of Halo 3, it's everything you'd want from a Halo 3 PC port. It's phenomenal. It's amazing. But essentially, from what we believe, it doesn't straight up say that they've been hit with a stop and desist kind of action from Microsoft and 343, but I believe the article we read that dropped today said that they've reached out to Count. What's the name of the modding? Del Rito?
El Dorito.
El Dorito. So that's the modding dev team that's created Halo Online. They've reached out to them. That's almost all it says, but it also does say that it's infringing on it's infringing on the intellectual property because it's using assets that are currently in use in other Halo titles. So basically, they have the means or the rights to give them a stop and desist, which is pretty much what's going to happen.
Yeah. They are correct.
Yeah.
But it's a fan game. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of side with Microsoft on this.
I do to a point, but at the same time, it's something that they're not doing anything with anyway.
No, they don't currently embrace the PC market anyway, right? So
exactly.
Where's the harm in letting the PC players have their fun? Unless you want to go back and play Halo CE or Halo 2, where you could play Halo 2 online. You can't. Like, nobody's playing that game because the servers are dead.
Yeah, whereas
it runs through Xbox
rightly,
Live.
there's about 8,000 people still online in this game because it's still up.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, 8,000 concurrent players. That's madness.
Yeah. I was online just before we started recording, and there was 1,200 players online, and that's over US nighttime. So that's crazy.
That's still pretty damn good. Yeah.
I can search AU servers, Australian servers, and I have probably at any given point 10 different servers I can join just in Australia. So that's the scope of this game. Like, it's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not this small little indie thing.
It's PC players have been wanting Halo on PC for a long time, and they finally got it through this unofficial release, and they're pumped. They're stoked. I'm stoked, and I've already had my fill of Halo on Xbox. I couldn't be happy to finally have it on PC, but I completely see how this could be over before we know it, maybe to a degree, because, let's face it, it's pretty much Halo 3. Like, it's Microsoft's intellectual property, running and being worked on without their permission. So I completely can understand where Microsoft's coming from. But I believe this is all kind of take this next bit with a pinch of salt. I was talking to some guys in game before we jumped on to record, and they said that they did actually say that they'd been hit with a stop and desist action, but what it meant was it was a stop and desist for development. So they weren't allowed to work on the game
turn the servers off. They're saying stop.
No. Yeah, because the game's already out there. The servers they don't own, right?
Yeah.
So they can't do anything about that. The game is always going to pop up somewhere on private servers or somewhere else, but they can stop them from distributing the game and working on the game.
Yeah, this is very true.
So I don't know. I mean, I could live with that. That's fine as long as I continue get to play. It's fine. But what's funny though is that they're only taking action now that they've released the gold version, like the basically final build of the game.
Yeah.
So they left it pretty late.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't complain at that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. What do you think about this though? Do you think maybe they let it get to this point, kind of quietly, just to test the waters, like the Halo market?
Well, yeah, because
online, like PC online waters.
What was said, 343 in a statement said, "While we have nothing to announce today, please know the PC community is very important to us and top of mind as we work towards the future." So that implies that while they haven't got anything specific yet, they're working on something.
Yeah, and that reminds me as well that they did actually offer to work with, I don't know if this is all just to save face, to work with the El Dorito, if that's how you say it, team on future official Halo PC products. So yeah, that's interesting.
Well, they obviously seem to know what they're doing, so...
Yeah, absolutely. If you have to see this game running to understand. Look at 343 and how they botched the Master Chief Collection, or they botched this or that aspect of Halo 4 and Halo 5. These guys have put up a near flawless product, to a non-native system. Like, it's incredible.
Oh yeah, they've done a very good job of it, definitely. So, yeah, I do understand why Microsoft want to take it down, but I do also think it wouldn't be in their best interests PR-wise.
It would be. It'd be a clusterfuck, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
but then at the same time, I feel like if this idea of them working with this company going forward is true, then at least something good would have come out of it.
Yeah. So my Band-Aid solution for Microsoft would be to announce an official project saying that you're working with the mod team, you've created a studio, a PC studio, basically just to build a Halo experience on the PC. Let this unofficial release run up until the point of the official release.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Done. Yep, and make the next official release, Halo 3 and then some. Maybe have a Master Chief-esque online experience. Sorry, I meant the Master Chief Collection-esque online experience for PC. I think it'd keep, it would be a long-term solution to rectify your intellectual property being used without your will, and you'd lose no face. If anything, you gained face for leaving this up and running for the community and the fans.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Whether or not they'd actually do that is a completely different story, because they're a game company. And
exactly.
We know what game companies are like.
Yeah, it's just, I really hope they don't. It doesn't sound like they're going to come down on like a ton of bricks though, which kind of gives me hope.
Hopefully, but at the same time, I still wouldn't put money on it.
I just don't know if they can anymore, right? Like, the Halo community and the fan base is already on edge enough, right? With how 343 just seem to not listen to feedback. They claim they do, but they don't seem to be listening to feedback.
No.
They botched the Master Chief Collection in Halo 5. In a lot of people's eyes, it was very disappointing. One of the biggest disappointing aspects was split screen not being in the full release. And
was it not?
It's just been Halo's always been known for its kind of community LAN party environment, and it did not have split screen in Halo 5. So there's been a lot of since the Master Chief Collection. Halo 4 was good. I think that was a good package, and it showed that they were capable. But since then, it's been a very slippery slope for 343 in the public eye. So I don't think Microsoft and 343 can afford to come down like a ton of bricks on the community with this. So I think they need to tread carefully.
I completely agree.
But yeah, interesting. We'll see what happens, I guess.
Stop being a dick. Sorry, I'm talking about the case.
In the meantime, though, I'm going to play as much as I can while I can.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Enjoy your thing while it lasts, peasant.
Yeah. Oh, dear.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think hopefully they won't shut it down. It would be a bad idea if they did. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
No, and I'd understand at the same time.
Yeah. And on that note, let's move on to a story that makes me very, very happy.
Wow. That was a lot of clipping.
Yep. That's going to be fun. Loot boxes are now illegal in Belgium. Get fucked, EA.
Wait, hang on. Wasn't EA the only people not... Oh, no, sorry.
No,
FIFA's
FIFA
EA,
is owned
right?
by EA, so...
Oh, there we go. My bad. My bad. Alright, you've got your victory.
Yeah, can you tell I don't like loot boxes?
No, I don't think anybody does. And the people
Does
that
it come
kind
across?
There's nobody that likes loot boxes. The people that use
Oh,
loot boxes
there's
just aren't aware that they're being manipulated.
I don't know about
right?
that. There's a guy...
You think... No, fuck off. People like them?
There's a YouTuber called Sid Alpha, and he has... There's a troll that he engaged with quite a few times, and he loves loot boxes, this guy, and he keeps going... Like, he's saying, debate me! Why don't you just debate me? Why does no one debate me about this subject? When he's not saying that, he's attacking people who disagree with him, and he's wondering why people don't debate with him. So, there's people like that, and they literally attack basically every big YouTuber and just send them trolling messages on Twitter all the time. So,
do you think anybody would actually be disappointed if a game didn't have loot boxes, though, or would it just be kind of...
say,
you
surely
wouldn't even know they're not
nobody'd
there?
be like, oh,
No,
that's a
right?
shame. I really wanted some loot boxes in that game.
Like, I can understand kind of the excitement attached to a loot box, but not one you pay for. If the loot box was free and you just kind of casually picked them up as you went and you enjoyed opening them, fine, I get that. But you're not going to miss them if they're not there because you'd be getting that same content via just progressing normally through the game anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't get the attitude of these people, but, you know. It's not for me to judge, to be fair, you know.
No, you know, like what you want to like, you know.
Exactly, but at the same time, I'm going to question your intelligence if you think loot boxes are sensible.
Or even more, like, you know, good for the gaming industry.
Yeah.
That is ludicrous.
But they help this poor, struggling developers who definitely don't have enough money.
I would love to see EA's war chest.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
What would that be? Jesus.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
More money than you could ever possibly need in your life. Ever, ever, ever. Ooh, this is actually looking quite good. Sorry, Planet Coaster again.
It's a creative corner. Stay tuned.
Yeah. You're probably going to think it all looks like shit, but I'm happy with it, so it doesn't matter.
Nice. Anyway, what has Belgium done then? What is happening?
The Belgian government have declared that just loot boxes in general, I think it's in general, but under specific criteria, are in violation of gambling legislation in their country. This is done at the request of Minister Justice Cohen Jeans. That's a Belgian name that I can't pronounce. Who conducted a apparently thorough investigation into loot boxes and video games and did a study, much like the Netherlands government, did a study of about 4 or 5 games. These ones being Battlefront 2, FIFA 18, Overwatch, and CSGO. Weirdly,
I'm surprised.
Weirdly, as Sully noted earlier, Star Wars Battlefront 2 is the only one out of those 5 that didn't violate any laws, but that's because their loot boxes were taken out not too long ago, or at the very least, changed. I think, actually, their loot boxes might still be there, but I think they're only cosmetic and they can't be traded.
Mm-hmm.
So that is...
Now, are we under the belief that these infringe on the gambling legislation because you can trade the items out of these loot boxes?
I think that seems to be one of the reasons.
Okay.
In the press release by the Minister of Justice, quote, developers are increasingly using systems to get players to give real money once they've purchased a game. The Gaming Commission is talking about. Bear in mind, by the way, while I read this, this is done through Google Translate, so I'm going to have to sort of try and paraphrase a lot of these things to make them make sense. Emotional profit forecast. I don't know what that means.
Oh, Jesus.
Uncertainty.
Sounds pretty heavy.
Uncertainty loot boxes linked to profit forecast. What does that mean?
I don't know. It sounds really heavy, though.
Emotional
sounds like
profit. Profiting off of my emotions.
Emotion forecast. Sounds like how I used to.
And today we're in for a spot of crying, followed by some happiness.
Is my girlfriend going to be pissed today, or is she going to be in a good mood today?
Oh dear. A player may think that the purchase of loot boxes has an advantage, which is not always the case. So it's like... That's a strange one, the way that's worded by Google Translate. What I think that means is... They think that the loot box gives them an edge, maybe? It's like in CSGO, when you get weapon skin, but maybe it doesn't actually do anything. But the way that it's all put forward is a bit sort of making you think that.
I guess we can put the article on screen and let people kind of also tiptoe through it themselves in case we like completely botch this.
Yeah. Confusion of fiction and reality. Well-known real people, as opposed to the well-known fake people, promote the most expensive loot boxes. I like the idea of Sherlock Holmes promoting a loot box now. Well-known fake person.
What the fuck are we... What are you reading? Like, what?
I'm reading a translated version of the actual statement.
Jeez.
Because I can't read Belgian. Use your own coin system. For a real amount, players can buy in-game coins. So it's basically like the Overwatch system, where you're not actually buying the loot box. You're buying some in-game currency, and then the loot box is an extra gift with it. That level of bullshit. Apparently infinite methods to deposit money on player accounts, and hidden... says, hide from the random generator, or at least its opacity. I can at least translate that one. That means that...
hide from the... Did you just say, hide from the random generator, or at least its opacity?
Yeah. Oh, it's brilliant. I love Google Translate because it's so shit. Because translating language is very hard. Anyway, what that actually means is you can't see the probability of what you're buying. Like, of what you can get.
Oh.
Jesus Christ. Right, so to speak of in terms of gambling, they use 4 parameters specifically in Belgium to determine whether or not something's gambling. If there is a game element, if the bet can lead to profit or loss, is one of them. But it's so if a bet can lead to a profit or loss, but there is like some sort of random chance in the game, a bit like roulette, that kind of thing, which is basically what loot boxes are.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah, that's just basically because of the way these loot boxes are implemented, because you're paying real money for them, you're getting a thing that has real world value, but at the same time, these things, like, the way they're implemented is, like, you can just pay forever and get loot boxes forever. And that kind of thing. The way they're done like that is now... It's been investigated and is in violation of the law in Belgium. So, yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, we said this on... We talked about this on the Newscast last week with the Netherlands one. But do you think this will set a precedent? Now we've got 2 governments on board doing this.
Well, weren't the UK looking into this some time ago as well?
They were, and the UK's Gambling Commission doesn't think they are gambling or illegal in any way.
What?
They are incorrect.
Okay. Well, forget that one then.
I just noticed something on this article. It's a Eurogamer article. It's talking about this, and Overwatch is mentioned. And right at the bottom of it just says, "Buy Overwatch from Amazon." What?
Oh,
this game has been declared illegal in Belgium. Why don't you go and buy it?
Oh dear. Google.
Oh dear, that's real dumb. But yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think it will. I think it's opened the can of worms, right? Like, surely other countries will start investigating this. You'd hope so. I mean, I'm assuming a lot of other countries just won't care. Maybe they just don't think the problem is as wide scale as, we think it is.
Maybe.
I don't know. It's interesting, but the simple fact is, like, didn't you say he only looked at 5 games as well?
Yeah. It's not many, is it?
I know there's potentially hundreds of games in Belgium that are infringing on their gambling laws.
Theoretically, because the amount of games that have these loot boxes in now is just insane.
Yeah, almost every second game has loot boxes.
Yeah, I remember talking about this on the Newscast once, and it like there's a statistic, and it's like before Overwatch came out, there were no more than 10 or 15 games prior to that had loot boxes in them. But after Overwatch came out, there were about 20 in the space of a year.
Mm-hmm.
At least.
Where do you think the loot box came from? Do you think it was Overwatch, or do you think it dates back,
it's
further
not
back?
a thing that they invented. A lot of people use that justification that they didn't invent it. And I get that, because, they didn't.
Yeah.
But they certainly popularised it. Like, it wasn't a thing that everyone was like, loot boxes before Overwatch came out.
I remember, my first kind of run-in a game with, quite literally an in-game loot box is, the Call of Duty mystery box and zombies.
Is that a thing? I didn't know that was a thing.
Do you know that? Okay, so basically it's like a box that gets positioned randomly around the map, and you trade 1,000 in-game credits for it. Like, you get the credits for shooting zombies. So you hit the mystery box up, you put your money in, and you can get everything from pretty much something worthless all the way up to a ray gun that can kill everything.
Oh, okay.
Right? So we used to just dump ridiculous amounts of in-game credits in. It's the quickest way to cut to the best weapons in the game. So I don't know, it's just kind of interesting. That was my first experience with a real kind of loot box system in a game that I can recall, or one that was so popular and prevalent in a game. But I think the first time I kind of ran into the kind of loot boxes as we know them today was probably Halo. I think it was either 4 or 5 in their Warzone game mode. I think Halo 5, that's a couple of years ago now, so this is probably back when it really did start taking off. It was Halo 5, and I was like, what the shit is this? They're called rec packs, I think.
Right.
And it completely broke the balance of the game. You literally you'd buy power-ups and weapons, and Halo's always been it's about map control and controlling points on the map where these weapons spawn, and that was completely lost, because you could just buy these rec packs and get a chance to basically spawn into games with these power-up weapons from these rec packs. I was like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's not good.
No, it completely destroyed that game mode for me.
Yeah, I can imagine. I don't understand the way that a lot of people even think about these sometimes. It just doesn't compute in my head.
No, it's kind of the visual representation of kind of greed really penetrating into games. Loot boxes.
It really is. It's for better or worse, it has laid bare all these AAA companies' avarice.
Oh yeah, it's I'm glad there has been a lot of backlash.
Yeah,
because it happened so fast. It did happen fast. A lot of this stuff,
and there is a reason for that. It's because of Star Wars, because they pissed off the Star Wars fans.
Oh my god! I just got a PM from Wesley.
Oh god, he's alive to you
he's
now
back.
as well. Goodness.
Oh my god. Sorry. Anyway.
For those of you who don't know, he's a guy that was on the server and then sort of disappeared for ages.
Yeah, very strangely. I'm glad he's okay though.
Yes, definitely.
I feel bad because I just left his Discord server too.
I did as well, because I
saw you leave and I was like, fucking him out.
Yeah, I was just like, well, no one's fucking talking on there, so what difference does it make to me?
I've got so many servers as well, so I need
I've
to
got
kind of be pretty
5,
aggressive with
and
my
that's
trimming.
enough for me.
Yeah, I think I'm at like 15, so if they're not getting used, I'm just getting rid of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, Wesley. No hard feelings if you listen to this.
You probably won't.
We love you. No. Anyway, loot boxes. I did have a point. I've lost it now.
I don't know. Kind of lost the momentum there a bit, didn't we?
Yeah, a little bit sidetracked. What can you do?
It's fine.
It's the newscast, right? We can do this, yeah?
Yeah. The newscast doesn't have structure. Who the fuck means that?
It's held together by tangents.
Oh yeah, that's the backbone of this show is tangents. We're at 47 minutes now.
We should set ourselves a challenge and like just have a podcast called Tangents and see if we can just string enough together to get something out of it. Be a good challenge series, right?
That'd be interesting, yeah. Oh dear. To be fair, challenge series wise, I'm spending the rest of the day doing creative corner based stuff.
I'll probably play some Switch in bed and go to sleep, I guess.
Well, yeah, it is quite. Well, it's getting on for you,
10
isn't
o'clock
it?
now. Yeah, I got work tomorrow, unfortunately. What can you do? Such is life.
Indeed. But anyway, I think then we've gloated enough about loot boxes, so
Yeah, we'll wait and see what happens, I guess. Hopefully they keep getting investigated in other countries.
hopefully they get banned at some point as well, because
Or heavily regulated.
Yeah. Regulated or banned, either or. Don't mind. At this point.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion on it, because they are just awful. Awful things made by awful people who just want your money.
Greedy pigs.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm looking at you.
Exactly.
Isn't it funny, like another quick little tangent, isn't it funny though that Star Wars Battlefront 2, a game that originally had very dark loot box system, was slammed for it, launched and fell far short of its sales prediction, and I believe it's considered not a flop, but
it's
definitely
considered like
underperformed.
commercially, like by EA's standards,
Yeah.
a flop. Yeah.
It's kind of tarnished permanently now. And it was one of the biggest releases of last year. On the radar and kind of ad campaign wise. And then you've got the second biggest release in Destiny 2, which was also riddled with a lot of kind of dark and seedy microtransactions and kind of DLC schemes that it's all kind of, unconfirmed, but we know their DLC kind of scheme is to kind of, to fuck us over basically.
Well, I'd say
and that
that's
also
kind of the
flopped
case
as
with
well.
basically any of these.
Yeah, that flopped too. Like the two biggest titles, at least kind of ad campaign wise, just bang, dead, almost dead on arrival.
Oh no, what a shame.
Yeah, it's just kind of interesting. Yeah,
definitely. It's just quite funny to see these companies
fall flat on their
hubris
face,
catching up to them.
Yeah,
The sheer utter-minded, just greed. Laid bare. Hooray!
Yeah, I agree.
So on that note, I think we'll wrap up the show. So let's do that bit now. Thank you for watching this episode of the GameCast Newscast. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, like, subscribe, or share. Whatever you fancy, our social links are down in the description, along with a link to our Discord where you can join in some chat with all of us. And stay tuned to to GameCast for lots of different content, news, reviews, let's plays, fun things like that. And if you're not watching the broadcast, stay tuned to that for, what is it usually, 12-ish PM CST on a Saturday. Get all of our content for the week. If you are watching that, stay tuned. We've got lots of fun stuff coming up. But anyway, I'd like to thank my guest, Sully, for joining me.
Thank you for having me. It was fun. Hopefully I can jump on for more in the future.
Hopefully, yes. Next week we will have Height back on, hopefully. She's very excited to do another one, and that's when it fits in with all of our schedules quite nicely. And other than that, I have been Snowy, that has been Sully, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Toodaloo.
Toodaloo.